Progress.
Whew.
Says Eileen on it.
Oh, no, this was to,
People coming in on Zoom?
Yeah, for sure. Except for hopefully we have everybody come in person today, but we'll see. It's open for anyone who wants to join.
Wow, that's significant. So so when you stand there, then where do you, okay.
Oh yeah, camera's over here.
So how do
Yeah.
they see the speaker? They don't.
You know, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
right behind this. Do you have any Zoomers on yet? A little early. A little early.
Like this, maybe, huh?
Courtesy
Is that the spot? Okay.
Morning.
Good. I don't like looking into a screen. Sometimes you have to look, they have the screen right there, and it just weirds me out.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring a card for everyone to sign.
That is really impressive.
Thank you.
Yes.
We worked hard on it. I don't want to take your picture. How about everybody?
Well, we gotta have our.
Okay, we can do that.
I know we talked
Oh,
about.
there you go. Hey, how are you?
It's my new brother Jack.
It is awesome.
This is the best jacket.
Did you get through the order plan?
I did not. This is straight from Hampton. Yes, Russell. We like the nails with the-
You like that?
It's a piece. Oh. I'm sorry, I mixed him up with another one.
Well, nice sweater.
So do we kind of, I don't know if Don, no, I don't think
Well, it
Don's
looks like
coming in.
something my mom was.
Yes, exactly. Did you guys eat brownies? Brownies? I mean, we made homemade.
There are brownies back here, they're all in the flies. Amelia brought them.
Can't say that.
Okay, is that mine? Okay. Well, I can put it on the first one.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Hey.
You're dead. Look, I danced down today. We party over there. I know, and they're
How's it going?
Brownies in the morning, huh? Love it.
I gotta say, what's up? I don't know. You have no idea.
So miss the whole weekend.
How is it?
Lauren. How delicious, what whole day happy. From the village of
You know, let's just sit down.
There you go. How's your shoulder? How's your shoulder? Shoulder. I think it's almost. Oh, I'm like, I don't know where you are. When I lift the hood, is that the hood?
Hello, Joyce.
Hi.
How are you?
Well, I'm better, thank you.
Good,
A little bit, that is.
good.
Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm healing pretty well.
Good, that's wonderful.
Good morning, Zoomers.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's nice to see you all. Good morning. And Lance,
Good morning.
how's your shoulder?
Great.
Good. Joyce, how are you feeling today?
Better, thank you.
Good, good. And you're looking happy, Jack.
Still gotta finish that ceiling though.
Yeah, but we can see your ceiling. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, good morning. Okay, ready to roll? We're right on time. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's stand for our pledge of allegiance with our Sergeant of Arms,
Are you ready, everybody?
Mr. Kevin O'Brien.
Here we go. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and
Justice for all.
All right, how about a little forward, everybody? First,
is it true?
Truth.
Is it clear to all concerned?
Concern.
We will feel good will and
Better friendships.
or.
is it good?
And be beneficial to all concerned.
Is it
Fun.
Bacon!
Seven. Hey, go Huskies! Yeah.
Nice. Okay, you guys rock that. I was looking to see who was looking at the banner and who was reciting it from memory. Hi, Dory. Good morning. Hi, good morning. Please help yourself to a fresh brownie this morning from Amelia. And fresh coffee. Good morning, Gina. Good morning. Okay, so Friday inspiration. Eileen, do you have a quote for us this morning?
I do.
Awesome.
This morning's quote comes from William Shakespeare. The meaning of life is to find your gifts. The purpose of life is to give it away.
Ooh, good one. Good one. Thank you very much. Good one. Good one. Okay, guests this morning. This morning we have District Governor Beverly Harrington, all the way from Burlington. She had to leave at 6 a.m. To be here this morning is dedication. So she's going to be our program. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Lori, our local mortgage lender. Thank you for coming. Nice to see you. Who else do you? Oh,
Hello.
would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Michael Galindo. I'm from the Rotary Club of Marysville.
You're not only from the
I'm not, well, okay. I'm the president.
Just the president. Just
No
the
big
president.
deal.
He's doing a district governor.
Yeah.
Wasn't there when I said
I was out of town when she visited my club, so good to see her.
Oh, that's the motivation.
Oh, well, that's part of
Give
it.
us that brownie back.
I think that's stuck up.
Brian, you're a guest. Wrong. We've got Brian squared.
Oh, my God. I'm Brian Lewandowski. I'm Amy's spouse here to be a part of watching her today. So yeah, I'm happy to be here.
It's very nice of you to watch your wife. Thank you. And I'd like to also mention that Brian and his daughter Gracie were the grand champions at game night. All they do is win. It was so fun. It was so fun. Thank you to everybody that came. I had a great, super fun being together with everyone. So some announcements today. First, actually, before I go, District Governor Harrington is going to come up and do a presentation first, and then we'll go back into our announcements, and then Bev will be our program.
Now?
Yep, thank you.
Okay. That was kind of scary there.
Careful of that.
Yep, I'm watching my feet. Good morning. Well, you know, every time a district governor comes, they have the great privilege of recognizing someone in the club that the president has said has really provided outstanding club leadership and service. And this year, this is being presented to Kyle Strand. So Kyle, what was said about you, Kyle is a newer member of our club, done an outstanding job initiating
I don't think I can.
Unite Rotarians of Action Group.
How's it go?
The service are commendable, and unfortunately, I have a
Oh, that's the governor.
Oh, fuck.
The governor's at this meeting.
black line in 126. Special Rotary.
Hold on, I'm being busy. There we go.
You're welcome. Thank you a lot. Okay, so we changed that up a little bit so you can blast over to your Zoomer position. Good morning, more Zoomers. Good morning, Dawn, all the way from Mexico. And Sam, good morning. Okay, so announcements. So I'm sure most of you have heard that we lost a dear club member last Sunday. So I'm supposed to say some things, but you guys already know. You guys know how awesome Dean was and how devastated we are. And today our Happy Bucks are going to be all contributed to in his name to our scholarship fund. His family has asked that in memoriam, instead of flowers, to make a donation to our scholarship fund. And there are a couple other nonprofits that they love and were involved in. But we're, of course, requesting that you make it to our scholarship fund. So our Happy Bucks today are going to that. You are welcome to please Venmo in or make a donation when we pass the bucket. Because Dean really was a very dedicated member of our club, and actually Dean is one of the reasons why I joined Rotary. Dean and Joyce, Joyce brought it to me, but then my daughter, good morning, my daughter received a scholarship from our club. And when she received some scholarships from other places in town too, and we did the circuit, and when we came to our club, for the presentation, I was so touched and impressed with Dean's presentation because he was the chair of our vocational committee and presented the scholarships to the kids. And you could tell that it was heartfelt and he cared about the kids and he did a deep dive on their applications and maybe their social. The stuff that he said was not your typical congratulations, you're amazing. They were real speeches for each individual recipient, and I was so impressed that I never left. And so we are dedicating a scholarship this year in Dean's name, and also doing the collection for the fund. And then I do invite everyone to please join us on Saturday the 27th at 10:30 at ULM for Dean's Memorial. And I would really appreciate it if it works in your schedule if you did come and show support to his devastated family and wear your Rotary gear if you have it. My in-laws were very involved in various Kamanas, and at their memorials, the Kawana people all wore their gear. And I really was touched by that. And it was nice to see how they knew those people that were there, right? So the family members that don't know us, I think it would be very strong and to show our support. at the memorial. So there's that. It's at 10:30 on Saturday, the 27th at 11. Okay. So on another note, thank you very much to everyone who came to game night. That was super fun. We don't have an official meeting next Friday because of Thanksgiving, but we will of course gather at the Buzz, come down, grab some breakfast and have a cup of coffee, and of course we'll laugh and joke around and do our regular stuff.
What time is that? Is it after Black Friday shopping?
So it depends on what time you leave for Black Friday. At 4. So I'm thinking
breakfast.
you can make it there by 7:30.
I'll try.
It depends on the line at Fred Meyer for your socks.
You're right.
Yes. So please join us over there. And then we do have a ton of events coming up in December. You're going to have you have an email from Gary. You have another email from Brian about Winterfest that we're doing. We're working with the chamber, and we're doing a sleigh stop for Lights of Lake Stevens, which is going to be downtown on Main Street. We're basically going to be a stop for people as they drive through town on the chamber's map, lights, houses that are in the contest for holiday lights. They'll stop and they can get a treat from us. And that's on the 18th. And then we do have our holiday party at Meatheads on the 10th at 5:30. And I do need a committee. If we have anyone that's fun in this group that would like to be on the holiday party committee, I don't see, is there anyone fun here today?
No,
Anyone?
it's gonna be a tough decision.
Bueller? Okay, think about it. It's not a big commitment. Really, we just need some people to put it together. We're gonna do a white elephant, so be thinking about your best joke gifts. And we'll do an ugly sweater because that's just what we do. The cost for the holiday party is gonna be $35 a person, and that includes your dinner and 2 drinks. Whether you want a beer, wine, or cider, whatever it is, you'll get 2 nice pours of drink. But really the most important part is we'll be together, we'll have some laughs and celebrate another amazing season in Rotary. Okay, 7:41. I think I'll hand it over to you.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to introduce our district governor?
I would love to.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna pass these things out.
Good to see you, Chris.
Likewise.
You're gonna assume the duty here.
I am. Yeah, I need all your help, so.
Yeah.
don't go too far.
It's my pleasure this morning to introduce the district governor. Bev Arrington was born in San Mateo, California. You're up there. Huh? Slides. Bev had a great childhood there. Ended up going to UCal Berkeley. Kind of radical.
Do you think it should be possible to get you to move up towards the front so that the mic will pick your voice up for our?
Sure, I'm
listeners?
sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, we do hybrid meetings too in Arlington.
You should be
We,
good
we
there.
tend to ignore the people on the Zoom also, so I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Bev and her husband Dick live in Burlington. Now Bev joined Rotary in 2005, served as the club president in 2016, 2017. She was attracted to Rotary, imagine this, by the motto, service above self. She had already lived quite a while as a servant leader in that community. Doing good in the world takes money, and Bev is a proponent of that. She's a member of the Paul Harris Society and a major donor to the Rotary International Foundation. She's had a varied career, always as a leader. Credit union CEO, director of finance for a Seattle high-tech company, the head, that's the office manager and accountant or something like that, director of finance for the Seattle Girls School. And I know all these things.
Yeah, you're really doing so. My
Since-
speech will be very short because this introduction is.
Yeah, I'm dragging it out. Since 1988, though, she has run Skagit Auto Licensing, providing licensing and registration services for the state's Department of Motor Vehicles there in Burlington on Burlington Boulevard. Served on the Burlington City Council, but in Rotary, she was a group study exchange team leader to Ecuador. I think that was in 2009. Kind of harkening back to her travel as a exchange student to Austria when she was in high school. She's
You
a
must be done
recipient,
by now.
recipient of Rotary International's Service Above Self Award. So please welcome our multi-talented and experienced district governor, Bev.
You know, assistant governors come around and introduce the governor each time, and Dwayne's been to several of these. So he decided to change it up. I'm gonna take this off so you can hear me a little bit better. Is this okay?
Yeah.
That works okay? Okay, good. Let's do that. You know, I really have to start by saying something about Jean, and you're doing quite well, and of course Debbie, and my heart just really beats for Debbie. I can't imagine what she's going through to lose her husband at such an early age. So I will be seeing you at the service next week. So this morning, I'd just like to share a couple thoughts with you. And let me start by saying my voice goes down, and you may not be able to hear me in the back.
Can you slide a little bit closer this way? It'll get you closer to the mic. They're saying they can't hear super well.
Okay, I was trying to be at the place where, is this the
You're,
mic?
yeah, you're still in the camera there.
Okay, well, it's okay if I'm not in the camera.
Okay.
Okay, but I'll try to speak
Looks
up.
like
But
they
I,
can, yeah, looks like they can.
the last time I spoke, someone at the end of the meeting said to me, well, I'm sure you had wonderful things to say. Unfortunately, I couldn't hear any of them. And I had started that meeting out by saying, if you can't hear me, please raise your hand. So, Dwayne, if you can hear me or anybody else, please raise your hand because my voice gets very soft and I try not to do that. So this morning, I just want to share a couple thoughts with you about our Rotary International President's request that we do more and we grow more by focusing on what brings us all together as Rotarians, which is service and connection. So how is it that I get to stand here representing the district leadership team this morning? How did I become a Rotarian? Well, my brother Larry has been a Rotarian for a long time. He still lives in California, where I grew up, and I visit him occasionally. And I have never, ever, ever seen him without a Rotary pin on. If he can't find it, he's vouching at his wife. Where's my pin? Where's my pin? I knew that he had been a Rotary Club president because he had a gavel and a plaque indicating the year he had been club president. That's all I knew about Rotary. He never talked about it. He never said anything that they were doing in the community. And I wasn't asked by any of the many Rotarians who live in Skagit County. We have 5 clubs in Skagit County. I own my own business. I was serving at that time on the Burlington City Council. I was very involved with the Chamber of Commerce. I was in plain sight, but asked I was not. I just happened to see a full-page ad in the Skagit Valley Herald one day. It was talking about the 5 Rotary clubs in Skagit County, describing what they did and mentioning that they did all these service projects. Well, years before, I'd been trained through credit unions and the World Council of Credit Unions and USAID as a development educator, doing service projects. Credit unions are really all about service. They happen to use money to work with the community, but their focus is on service. When I showed up, oh, yes, the one thing that they did say, besides join us, is women welcome. This is the first I knew that there were women in Rotary. When I first joined the Burlington Rotary Club, I just showed up on a Friday morning. So I'm very used to Friday mornings. I love Friday mornings because people who come to a Friday morning thing are upbeat and want to have a lot of fun. And it is very different than a noon kind of club, for sure. So I showed up at that club and I was warmly welcomed. I knew over half of the people in that room. A couple of years later, I went to the Rotary International Convention in Salt Lake City and happened to see a program being advertised for a youth service project that sounded really interesting. And when I attended it, I learned that the people involved in this project that was being run out of a group in Utah were finding that many of the students, after they were involved, wanted to start an Interact Club at their school. And our president at the time his major goal was to start an Interact Club at Burlington Edison High School. So I really paid attention. I came back to the club. I've been in the club 2 years. I said, I think this is a great project. How about if we get involved? They jumped right on and have been supporting that effort ever since. And that's how the Youth Engaged in Service program came about. It's been 14 years that we have been sponsoring students. Burlington Rotary Club sponsored all of the students for the first 5 years. So that was quite a commitment. And then other clubs started to join us. And we formed teams in Canada and mostly Skagit County and a few in Canada. This year, well, actually 2 years ago, we started trying to form another team here in Stonehenge County because you have 9 Rotary clubs and a Rotaract club, and it seemed a perfect location to try to do that. So your President Michelle has got some information on that, and we're encouraging you to get involved in this program. You know, in the 14 years, we have had almost 100 students who have learned about Rotary, who volunteered during the school year for a minimum of 80 hours in local community. And 40 of those hours have to be in the same location. So they're dependent upon them. They have to show up, and it becomes a little bit more work, not just let's go help out for a minute. It changes their lives when they travel to Honduras or Guatemala in the summertime to do a humanitarian service project. You know, when kids go someplace and they see people living in what we would call a not very nice shack, because the walls are random planks or pieces of trees tied together with twine that has been taken off of a bean sack. And there's plastic on the roof, and the rain comes through, and people are eating, are cooking, and basically eating on the floor, but also cooking on the floor. And the smoke and the creosote all gathers up in the ceiling. And there's no possessions. And the children have no toys, and they have no books. And these high school students who are juniors in high school look at this and are amazed. They may have seen something in a book, but they haven't lived it. And this program gets the kids right into people's homes, because what they do is lately, and for many years, have been installing stoves that take care of the creosote because they burn much less wood. We work through Hands for Peacemaking in Everett. These students altogether have donated more than 8,000 hours of local community service, and they've touched the lives of the poorest of the poor, bringing hope. And when a young person shows up in Guatemala, which is where I've been most of the time, those people are amazed that this young person would come and would help them. One of the main reasons people join Rotary is for community service. They see what you're doing in the community, they want to become involved. During the board installation of the Mount Vernon Rotary, they decided that they were going to try to do, well, actually they decided they were going to do 100 acts of community service this year, because it's their 100th anniversary of their club charter. Now, 100 acts of community service, what in the world would that be? They made a list, and they had things that one person might do or several people might do. one person could donate blood, which is an active service when we're able to, that we all need to be doing. They could have a group of people that might put together one of those little free libraries and keep it stocked. Well, you know, I thought, well, when our club has a service project, everybody shows up, and it'd be pretty easy to get to 100. But they decided that no, each project counted as one, whether you have 20 people or you have one person. So reaching 100 acts of service in one Rotary year is an incredible commitment to service above self. Your club has done some really interesting things. You know, I've been to quite a few clubs already, and I hear about all the service projects because I look at your website, I ask your president, and I'm really serious when I say you have some really unique projects that I haven't heard about before. Your all-inclusive playground. People don't use that term all-inclusive yet, really. And I understand what that is because the Cedar Woolley Rotary Club built an all-inclusive playground for one of the members who passed a few years ago. Painting ceramic bowls. What fun. Who did that? Who painted the bowls? Yeah. I thought, that what a neat fundraiser to help a fundraiser to paint those bowls. The free bottles of water that you're going to be giving out and snacks and talking about Rotary during that you're doing again when you're having the lights event, but also at the farmers markets. What a great place to find people, especially people going to farmers markets often can be really interested in community service. So I'm really impressed with what you've done. And I want to share with you that this year we have developed a district service committee. So this person who sits on the board, actually our district governor nominee, David Lukoff. I've asked to form this committee, and we'll put a drop down on the website. We're going to call it Do-Goodery. So look for the Do-Goodery, the thing on the district website. And there soon, probably in January, you'll start finding the different service projects that clubs are doing. I'm going to populate it initially with the things I've heard around our district, and then ask clubs to really put in maybe some details about how they did something, what was involved, what we did. So we can all learn and we can try some of these other projects because we get a little stale sometimes in our clubs and doing the same things all the time. Sometimes helping hands are all that is needed to complete a project. Other times we need some cold hard cash. The Rotary Foundation helps fund Rotary's humanitarian activities, local service projects, global initiatives. It leads the charge, as we all know, in eradicating polio, promoting peace, but all the other projects that the foundation supports comes from clubs. Clubs having an idea and then applying for a grant to help them to fund that project. A few years ago, you received a grant for your Lundin Park benches and tables. Is that close by, Lundin Park? And this last year, or actually for your all-inclusive playground, over $7,000. So the money that you're putting in is coming back to you. And you know, that's exactly why I started donating to the foundation, because that first project with the YES team, I needed some more money. And so I found out about grants early on, and I applied for one, and we got it. And we built a chicken coop in a village and populated it with, oh, it wasn't chickens, that was another time. This was a pig enclosure that was actually better than anything people were living in, was quite disturbing. And put pigs in there, and the kids would raise the pigs to have some more meat within the village. And I got a grant for that. And I thought, okay, well, if I'm taking the money, I better put some of the money in. And that's when I happened to join the Paul Harris Society, which I really recommend, because you make a decision. And along with Paul Harris, the Rotary Direct, which is where you can have your money taken out automatically every month, or a quarter, or once a year from your checking account. So I made that decision one time up at Harrison Hot Springs and decided on an amount. And all of a sudden, I was Paul Harris. And then again, there was another stone in my little pin. And you know, it was the laziest way to donate because I decided one time, I didn't have to think every time, well, how much should I do this year? So I really recommend Rotary Direct. So this need for the money never ends because we all have great ideas that we need to have help funding. So this morning, it gives me great pleasure to present to you someone who continues to give. And this is Tracy DeLune. Tracy here? Tracy's not here. Well, darn. Then I won't be able to give it to her, but Tracy has a Paul Harris +4. So she's gonna have 4 stones. So do you know what that signifies?
A lot of money.
$5,000 to Paul Harris, the foundation. So, you know, as we keep giving to the foundation, we can do more. And that's the whole point. Our president does ask us to do more, but he wants us to do that by joining with other organizations in the community. You know, every community usually has a Kiwanis, maybe a Serotinus, PEO, and Chamber of Commerce. So the Rotary Club president in Connor decided actually last year, even before this request came out, to get together with all of those groups in Connor because COVID was going on and she was thinking there must be something we could do as a group as everyone was trying to think of COVID projects, right? They contacted the local merchants and one of the things they found out was the tables along First Street in Connor were all filthy. And that's a cute little town. We've been shopping in Connor. And so they decided, well, they were going to clean those tables off. And then they learned that there was moss on the sidewalks. They could see it when they were cleaning the tables. Thought, well, this isn't a good thing. So they got something called a moss scraper, which I've never heard of before, and they scraped all this moss off. They also had gathered clothes for some of the needy people in the community. And you know, they had such a good time doing it that they decided to start meeting every month and looking at what can we do together in the community. And they even decided to call themselves something, Connor United. I thought, what a great deal if we could all join with the other service organizations in our community. This is exactly what President is asking us to do. Join with the others, not just with the other service organizations, but when we have a project, invite the community in to participate with us so that we can share the gift of Rotary. Service and connection are going to bind us together and these new people that we bring on board. So when we come to a Rotary meeting, we often engage in small talk. I heard it up here on Zoom. How are you this morning, right? And when you first sign on to Zoom, how does it feel? It's kind of, I find it kind of awkward. What do you guys think? Is it awkward? No, oh, you love it. That's because you're sitting in your jammies. We can only see your shirt on top. Yeah. Okay, well, I don't happen to love it. I found it very stifling and not very much fun when I would be signing on to Zoom. So I decided at my very first opportunity to lead the district board last July, I was not going to have any of that. Of course, we're still meeting on Zoom. So I decided to ask everyone a question as they signed on. The question I asked was, what is the most adventurous thing you have ever done? Well, I have known our district governor-elect, Raj, for several years now. Before COVID, we would be at various training events together, have lots of casual conversation, learn things about each other. But you know, the one thing I never knew is that Raj had climbed to the base camp of Mount Everest. I mean, that blew me away. I can't even imagine knowing someone who's done that. There's people doing it. And one of our other members on the board, a Rotaractor, Phoenix McLaren, had actually gone to Galapagos and swum with sharks. Well, you know, I'll never forget that. And I realized when we change our questions, we experience a different form of connection. There was an American author, Sam Keen, who said, "Nothing shapes our lives as much as the questions we ask, refuse to ask, or never dream of asking." So we're going to use these little cards that you've been given. You probably don't realize that there are 3 different colors because I have purposely given you colors in your neighbors that are the same color. How this works, has a question on one side. Fortunately, you don't have to do the exercises on the other side. We're just going to do the questions. And the idea when I say go is to find someone with a different color card, which requires everybody standing up. I call this the DG stretch. Stand up, you find somebody with a different color card, and you ask them the question on your card. They ask you the question on their card. You find out something about each other in a couple sentences, not paragraphs. And then you trade cards, and then you have a different card, and you find a new partner with a different color card. Okay, so you're asking a question on your card, and trading cards, and then finding a new partner. Okay, so we're going to do this. Let's try it for 2 different times, 2 different partners, and when you've done that, then please sit back down. So everybody, and we have some questions for you people up here too. Okay, can you hear me upstairs? Okay, here's your question. You'll have to talk amongst each other. What would you do differently if nobody would judge you? Let me see where the camera is.
Sorry, there was quite a bit of background noise, people talking behind you.
Oh, I can't hear. Answer, but it took too long.
Can you type into the chat on the computer?
Or just talk closer to the computer.
I think the question she asked was, what would you do differently if you felt nobody was going to judge you?
Thanks, Jack.
Okay.
You guys have questions, Zoomers?
You guys see that? Yep.
Can you guys see that? Oh my God, so my time listening to fantastic music for voice acting. So if you want to answer in the chat.
So we're supposed to answer that question?
Yeah, we can do it in chat, I would think.
Well, I'm grateful for Dean France, having known and worked with him. That's about all I can think about right now.
Yeah, I was thinking about my best friend who died a couple of years ago, and to know that I had at least one, really good friendship in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Dean was a huge contributor to our
his health, if you have it. That's phenomenal.
My age group.
I would say that too, even though I may be one of the younger ones here.
You are just a child.
Going bald.
Play with wood scraps. I mean, what can I say?
Strangest thing.
Huh.
Huh. Santa Claus is the only thing that comes to mind.
I was gonna say maybe I might have been one of those people who thought Star Trek was real.
Ah.
I know.
Or I hoped it was. Let's put it that way.
What? It's not? You're kidding me. Dang it.
I was too old and skeptical by the time Star Trek came out.
Yeah, Star Trek is what made me a socialist.
Yep. Me too.
I've got a bunch of girls made out of Adirondack chairs. I've been selling them out of Adirondack chairs. Rescued we actually have a goal where we
Joyce, that looks like a real comfortable chair. That looks like an awesome chair. I gotta get one of those.
Don't have time in this chair. The mountains and the lake. I'm hearing some.
school bus. My teachers are trying to drive a school bus. Yeah. We do anything, I need drivers.
Oh, no, Yeah. What are you talking about? He says he can do it for the past.
I've got a couple of different ways of doing
Okay, that's a little sample of what you will experience by coming to the Rotary celebration, the district celebration next May at Sanayamu. So I encourage you to sign up. Early bird registration is right now, so it's much cheaper right now to sign up. And we're going to be doing this activity to start out our conference, along with a professional speaker who's going to talk a whole lot more about it. Okay?
Was that the district celebration?
Yes.
So we do have a group going.
Oh,
We have a group of 8 so far. You guys are rocking it.
Are y'all registered?
Not all registered, but committed, super committed, and we're gonna get a van of fun.
Oh, wonderful.
So we can all drive together if we want, because we have talked to our insurance man, and we really should ride together. So, safety first, road trip, we'll play corners like we did the last time we went to Foundation in Canada. And it'll be fun.
Oh, fun. So you're coming on Friday?
We're coming on Friday.
Super, because then they have the foundation dinner Friday night, because we couldn't have it this year, obviously, and everybody get together. So it'll be Friday night. And then we have the great speakers on Saturday, including Celeste Mergens, who's from Days for Girls, the founder for Days for Girls. Is your club involved with that? Okay, well, Days for Girls is feminine hygiene products that are quite incredible, that are taken, we take them with the Yes teams, and it is amazing the impact it has on people who do not have any way of taking care of themselves. So lots of things, beach casual. Saturday night, we're going to have the Killer Keys piano players coming for us. It'll be a bit of a fundraiser. If you haven't had Killer Keys before, dueling pianos, what happens is you put in a slip saying for $20 you want to hear this song. Somebody else at your table wants to be teasing you, so they put in $25 for it to stop, all that kind of thing. Lots of fun. Everyone can participate. And instead of, I'm district governor, and I absolutely refuse to sit there like every other district conference wishing my husband would dance with me, because I usually have music and dancing, right? And I'm a big dancer. In fact, the first date he took me on, he took me dancing. That was the last time. So I decided I was going to have the dueling pianos because I love them. Rotary President Mehta is also asking us each one bring one to help us grow Rotary. Do more, grow more. Remember, we're good about that. We're good about bringing people into Rotary. We're not so good about keeping them. And that's really unfortunate. We tend not to ask them serious questions. We do small talk. We sit with our friends. And so lots of times people stay for 1 or 2 years. It's very common in Rotary. In fact, this year we have 15 new members in Rotary, and it's projected through some algorithms that Rotary International did that we're going to end the year 86 members less than we started the year with. So it's a real concern. So I don't think the answer is each one bring one. I think the answer is each one keep one. Make sure we keep that contact and we have people who come. This morning, we are going to be inducting 2 new members. Amy Lewandowski and Chris Martin. If you could come up here, please.
Chris had to run to a meeting. Yeah.
Oh, darn, we should have done it sooner.
Yeah, he had a meeting at 8 o'clock that he had to run to.
Oh, this I didn't.
Oh, we have Amy.
Yeah.
Amy.
Are you her sponsor?
Nope. I'm the
He's our membership chair.
membership chair.
Okay, and who are you sponsor?
Jen.
You should come up here too, Jim.
Sure.
We're so close, I'll talk.
Sure.
You're responsible.
So on behalf of the Rotary Club of Lake Stevens, it truly is my privilege and honor to induct you this morning, Amy. This is the beginning of a great journey of service and friendship. Founded in 1905, Rotary has grown over the past 115 years into an organization of business and professional leaders united worldwide to provide humanitarian service, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and promote peace. When we join Rotary, we quickly become aware that it is more than another club. By electing you to join them, the members of the Rotary Club of Lake Stevens are doing more than taking you into their fellowship. We are making you a trustee with them of Rotary's ideal of service of self and following the 4-way test in all we think, say, and do. Is it truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned in all we think, say, and do? You're encouraged to learn all you can about Rotary by participating in the activities of the club, including the weekly meetings, social events, and service projects. So if you could attach her pin, Ron, to her.
It's in the bottom.
I just gotta find it.
Oh, I mean, is this a new rotor camera, or are we getting rid of the wheel?
Well,
That's what comes with the,
and then the new one.
I know.
When I got my first pin, I thought, oh my gosh, you got so many pins. How do I get pins? Well, that happened.
It's just like booking the Rotary basics, and it'll be a test next week.
Next week.
Next week, yeah, that's where you know.
that's a buzz in.
Yeah, 7:30. 7:30. On your socks. Your new TV.
Tell Brian to let you come.
So while you're doing that, Amy, I encourage you to wear this pin proudly every day. By doing so, people are going to
I
know
think
you're
the
part
pen
of
came off.
Rotary.
This was, see the.
Together.
Yeah, well.
Amy's gonna pin herself.
Look at this going.
She's trying to Amy's a go-getter.
Is it on? It's on. There you go. Here's all the other.
Okay.
One-way test included.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll dance with you during the piano.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
I will.
Okay. My husband will be there. I'll say, look, see, I.
Mine too, and then they can just sit around and talk and we'll dance.
All husbands are the same. Okay, well, great. I look forward to seeing you all there. And I'd just like to end with the inspirational words that President Shekarmeta gave last January when he announced his presidential theme. He said, the greatest gift we are given is the power to touch a life, to change, to make a difference in the circle of life. If we can open our hands, our heart, and our soul, the magic will begin to happen as the wheel begins to roll. Let us turn that wheel together so all humanity thrives. We have the power and the magic to serve to change lives. So my friends, this is our time. This is our moment to connect with our community, to do bigger, more impactful service projects, and to ask our friends, even if they are very busy, come join us to serve to change lives. Thanks so much.
Thank you for coming to visit us today. This is a gift for you from us in the Rotary brand colors.
I love it. Thank you so much. I saw that up there. How lovely.
It is for you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have time to do Happy Bucks and raffle. So we'll end this meeting on a high note because I was a little kermuffled earlier. Kind of skipped it. So our Sergeant of Arms. You ready for Happy Bucks, Simmers? And today, all of our Happy Bucks are going into the foundation in Dean's name. So please, if you care to, please make a donation to on top in Dean's name to our scholarship fund.
It is.
I know.
Throw my glasses.
That's me. All right. Good job. All right. There you go. Congrats.
Thank you.
Good morning. Michelle, you want to talk about?
I just did.
Okay, okay. All right. So greetings, everybody. Thank you, Governor Bev, for being here today. And I apologize, I've been able to make a lot of meetings because of my work schedule, but also I'm very sad about the Dean Farms.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for being this part.
Thank you, Dean, for all you've done. You've been a good friend and a good, great Rotarian.
The first committee I was on was scholarship committee when he was here. Being just a wonderful, joyous person with kindness and huge love.
Mr. Dean, great friend, great guy to be with. We're gonna miss you today. We'll never forget.
Well, I didn't know him, and it sounds like he's an amazing man, so I'm sad that I didn't get the chance to meet him.
That's how I feel too. Glad to be here.
Real quick, we've got $20 from Sam on bringing and $100 to the vocational scholarship fund.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So I'll, of course, make a donation to our scholarship fund in memory of Dean. And then I'm not very good at this district governor stuff. So here's the banner I was supposed to give you as another thank you for
You know, that's the first.
coming to our
So,
club
thank you very
today.
much. I appreciate it.
We have an amazing secretary that keeps us on the ball.
Well,
Mr. Gary. Oh, Chris is back.
Busted up my meeting.
Okay.
So I did the $100 donation for Dean for the $5. Especially this our Saturdays together, he was an amazing individual.
Never met Dean, this is from Brian and I, but like you said to bring one and to keep one, and it sounds like Dean has brought all of you together, and I'm in today, so I feel like his legacy is living on through all of you.
Dave France was my special friend, and I'm gonna miss him immensely.
For Dean, I remember when I first joined Rotary, Dean actually made a point of picking out the coffee to get to meet me. I thought that was pretty special, and we had a great friendship ever since. And taught me a lot about financial stuff with more, and I miss that.
This is for Dean, for his life that he led, the teaching he gave us each time, and of course, that boyish smile and demeanor that he always brought to every event.
This is for Dean, who is very special to his club here. I wish him and his family well, and any kind of support I can give family.
So my heavy butt side of this thing is I'm really great to be home from Hawaii, so it's really nice to be back. Yeah. And being, you know, he was just a great Rotarian.
Well, like Ron, when I first joined, Dean took me out for coffee and, you know, wanted to get to know me and like all of you, he just always had a smile on his face and super gregarious and really embodied what a Rotarian is. So I miss him too.
Thanks, Kevin. So 2 things today. Be like Dean. And there's a grant for that. Was a good lesson too. But with Chris is back from his meeting. If now we go backwards again. Really quick, we've got 4 minutes to induct our new member. I do. There you go. Here's the packet.
okay.
Yes, we are.
Chris is sponsor here?
Nope.
Okay.
Membership chairman. I don't know, who is?
Kyle
No,
No, he had to go to school.
Well, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Lake Stevens, it really is a pleasure and honor to welcome you to this club. This is the beginning of a great journey of service and friendship. Founded in 1905, Rotary has grown over the past 116 years into an organization of business and professional leaders united worldwide who provide humanitarian service, encourage high ethical standards in all vocations, and promote peace. When we join Rotary, we quickly become aware that it is much more than another club. By electing you to join them, the members of the Rotary Club of Lake Stevens are doing more than taking you into their fellowship. They are making you a trustee with them of Rotary's ideal of service above self, and following the 4-way test in all we think, say, or do. I encourage you to memorize what those are. Is it truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? In all the things we think, say or do. You're encouraged to learn as much as you can about Rotary by participating in the weekly meetings, joining in with service projects, and coming to social events, which sounds like a lot of fun in this club. I joined just for that. So you could give me his pen and his book.
Governor.
Oh, yeah, the magnet.
Can't stick anybody, you know.
You're officially official.
Today signifies to your club and others in the community that you're Rotarian. And I want to tell you that Rotarians, no matter where you are in this world, if you run into a problem, there's going to be a Rotarian who'll be able to help you. So now during these floods, we're getting calls, I'm getting information from Rotary districts all around saying, how can we help with people? So everyone out there can. So please welcome Chris.
Thanks for bailing out your meeting.
Okay, thanks again, District Governor Harrington, for coming and visiting us today, and to Brian for coming and visiting. Dory, we need that application.
I don't have one.
What? Gary?
What?
Dory's ready to sign. And thank you, Dwayne, for coming this morning too. Always a pleasure to see you and
I was gonna ask you how I got the information.
I can't believe it. Gary's like so on it.
I know he sends me emails all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to see this guy
There is
right
one
there?
on our website, and here's our membership chair.
And then you, if you want to do
And then the annual membership.
So they prorate it. It's twice a year. You just send us an email. We don't know what it is. And they'll prorate it for you.
Make sure that it's the right fit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I was part of the Rotary.
I'm not talking.
Go ahead. It's over.
Well, I'm all